see Vanessa here and sign up to speak.
Seeing it's just after 6:30, I'd like to call City of Moore's City Council meeting to order. Item 1 is the roll call.
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Sid Porter.
Here.
Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark. Mark Ham.
Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and you may be seated. Item number 2 is the consent docket. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion we approve consent docket items A through C.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is consider adopting the resolution 13326, changing the street name of Manhattan Drive between Applegate Drive and Southwest 42nd Court in the Apple Valley, Section 4, and Apple Gardens, Section 1, additions to Southwest 42nd Street. Application by Marty Heilman.
Vice Mayor and Council. On August 18th, 2025, Council approved resolution number 116.25. That resolution changed the street name of Southwest 42nd Street from Applegate Drive to Southwest 42nd Court to Manhattan Drive. This was requested by the only resident of that segment of the street due to confusion on mobile mapping platforms. And there was also another segment of Southwest 42nd Street and the Westermeyer Farms that also caused confusion. Since that time, since we passed the previous resolution, the applicant has not seen any improvement in the confusion and misdirections. The mobile mapping platforms have not been updated, and the post office and county have also not updated their information. City staff did offer to assist him more aggressively in updating the street names in the county and the post office, but we don't have control over the mobile mapping platforms. The applicant has decided to not change his address just because of the continued confusion that he believes that the mobile mapping would provide. So he's requesting the street name segment to be changed back to its original form of Southwest 42nd Street. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Does this seem to be, do you agree that this is a reasonable answer?
He is the only person who has the address off of 42nd Street.
Right.
I feel that whatever he would like to do would be appropriate. Having it as 42nd Street does not affect
not gonna affect
emergency
our
services
emergency
or
services?
anything like that,
All
yes.
right, okay. Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Will you call for the vote?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4, consider approval of amendment number 4 in the amount of $41,000 to the contract with Garver LLC for additional engineering services required to address ODOT coordination comments to resubmit 90% design plans for the Northeast 12th Street reconstruction project from I-35 to Eastern Avenue.
Vice Mayor and Council recall back in 22, 23, we had two separate projects. We had the Eastern Avenue project from Northeast 9th that went to north of, or just north of Crest, and that whole intersection of 12th and Eastern. And then we had another project that was a different consultant that was doing Northeast 12th from I-35 to Flicker Ridge. And so what we did, when we applied for the ACOG grant, we went ahead and combined the two projects and submitted them as one to ACOG. And in that process, it was very successful in that together they were able to get us about $7.2 million, almost 60% of the overall project right now. But at the time, both projects were 60% complete, the design, and so what we did is we met with ODOT, because they didn't have very many of these type projects where they had combined two projects into one. And we met with ODOT to determine how do we move forward to get to 90% plans and submit so that they go ahead and approve it through their quality control so that we can go ahead and bid the project. After a couple of meetings, they decided that the best way that they felt would work would just go ahead and have a Part A, identify anything that had to do or any references to one project, the 12th Street project, as Part A, and keep the quantities separate, all of the tables, and then Part B, have things referenced to Part B for the Eastern Avenue project. And so we went through that process and made those changes to the plans or additions to Part A and B and submitted them. And after review from ODOT, they had said that they can't do it that way. They don't feel that, it was just too confusing because the quantities were separate and the quantity, they just felt it was confusing. What's Part A, what's Part B? You had 120 pages from one and 120 pages from another. And they said we need to go back to the other alternative and combine them into one set of plans. And so what these changes are for the first item here on number 4 are for all of the changes that basically they had to remove any references to any documents on either Part A or Part B. And the distinctions from the sets of plans, they had to establish a consistent stationing. The Eastern Avenue project is a little bit more because they had to redo all of their stationing to match up where the first part project, or the 12th Street project ended. And any supporting document, they had to go through and make sure that, they caught everything, because there's, as I said, there's 120 pages and there's multiple tables, combine all the quantities, all the summary of drainage and everything. And so, because of that, that's what the $41,000 is the cost for Garver to go ahead and change their plans. Theirs is a little bit more because of the change in stationing.
And are Garver and Friesen Nichols working together?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and they were working together back then,
Okay.
once we combined them at the 60%. It's just the trail that, and there was two alternatives, or Part A, Part B, or try to combine them at that time, and the direction was, no, let's do the A and B. And then, as I said, they felt it was just too confusing. And so would recommend approval of the amendment for $41,000 on the Eastern Avenue project.
Okay. I make a motion we approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote, please?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. Thank you. Item 5, consider approval of amendment number 4 in the amount of $33,500 to the contract with Friesen Nichols for additional engineering services required to address ODOT coordination comments to resubmit 90% design plans for the Northeast 12th Street reconstruction project from I-35 to Eastern Avenue.
Okay. Make a motion we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote?
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. Item number 6, consider authorizing staff to solicit bids for the contracting of landscaping services to include basic landscaping, enhanced landscaping, tree maintenance, and irrigation installation repair with designated areas within the city.
Vice Mayor and Council, the landscaping bid is for contractors to maintain and upkeep city flower beds, city streetscapes, and trees in the locations listed in the bid. This would be year-round care starting at the end of April with bi-weekly services to the flower beds and streetscapes through November and monthly services from November through March. Tree maintenance would be a minimum of once a year and an as-needed basis. This would include planting flowers in flower beds in both spring and fall. Approving this would begin the process of enhancing and improving the beautification of the city's parks and streetscapes. I recommend approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So are we gonna dictate what flowers and
Yes,
how
they're-
many
They
and
are
all
in
that?
the contract.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, very good. Anyone else? I'll make a motion we approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. Thank you very much. This time we'll recess the city council meeting and convene a more Public Works Authority meeting. Number 7 is the consent docket.
Make a motion, we approve the consent docket, items A through C.
Second?
We have a motion for the vote.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 8 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket, items A and B.
Second?
Will you call for the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes, item carries. This time, we'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting, convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting. Item 9 is roll call.
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Sid Porter.
Here.
Mark Ham. Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark. Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Item 10 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket item A.
Oh, second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Item carries. Thank you. At this time, we'll recess the more,
Nope.
oh, item number 11, consider approval of a development and financing assistant agreement between the More Economic Development Authority meetings, Project Star Real Estate Investments LLC, and Scannell Properties, number 767 LLC.
Chairman and trustees, this item is seeking approval of a development financing agreement between the City of Moore and the Moore Economic Development Authority, a developer, and a prospective new business. The project site is north of Northeast 27th Street, north of First Baptist Church Moore, between I-35 Access Road and Pole Road. The developer is purchasing a 50-acre tract of land that a portion of, which is 23 acres to be exact, will be sold to the prospective company. The economic impact this development, and specifically the prospective company, will have on Moore and Cleveland County is significant. Therefore, the city, in concert with the Cleveland County Industrial Authority, are working together to offer meaningful incentives to make this project a reality. Per the agreement, the city, with the assistance from the county, will offer up to $11 million in infrastructure improvements and up to $3 million in cash incentives at the completion of the client's 6th year on the site. To tell you more about the company and their long-standing global excellence, John Linio, the Vice Chairman and head of CBRE's site selection team in Arizona, is here representing the company, and he would like to address you all.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. As Deidre had explained, we represent a company who has been operating within the greater Oklahoma City region for 37 years, and the company is looking to expand. The firm is a Fortune 100 global pharmaceutical distributor. We have been working with the city for the last year, almost a year to date, trying to identify locations within the community that we can build a 300,000 square foot facility, state-of-the-art, highly automated, with a lot of robot arms. So if you can imagine when you go into a pharmacy and you see little pill bottles or medium-sized kind of pill containers, multiply that by a few 100,000, and this facility will be automating fulfillment of orders that are then shipped out to hospitals, to physician groups, to clinics, each and every day. So we've identified that land site, as Deidre mentioned, along Pole Road, and it's ideal for our operation. We've spent the last year partnering with the city, with Cleveland County, with the State Department of Commerce, and with the State Finance Authority to help create the best economic opportunity for this client to potentially choose more. The company will be owning the facility. The capital budget's estimated at $179 million. A lot of that is in that automated equipment that I mentioned. So they're basically upgrading their current facility in Oklahoma City from what is a 25-year-old material handling equipment to the Mercedes class new stuff that they have today. The facility, once it's up and running, will house about 200 employees in the city of Moore in that facility. Average salaries are above the state average, the quality jobs average, right around $48,000 to $50,000 per year. And from a timing perspective, should the company choose to close on the land site, which we're trying to kind of put everything together before the end of March, construction should start soon, within the next 2 months. And building construction should be completed by summer of next year. Then after that, the company spends about 18 months installing equipment and calibrating all the robotics to figure out where all the boxes are within the warehouse. So ideally, go live is estimated at the end of 2028. It seems far off, but when you're setting up a big operation like this, they're pretty much behind the clock right now. We work site selection projects globally, one for this company and then many other companies that that work with CBRE. And I'd like to give kudos to the city, to Cleveland County, and our state partners. Everybody has been basically on the ball from day one, working in concert to try to solve problems. And we've had some problems with this real estate site, but we've all figured it out together. And the message I have from the client is they're very, very pleased with the reception that they've received from the community and from all the partners. And it's very evident everybody wants this project. And I would like to answer any questions that you might have.
So how does the city recoup the funds that we're putting? Is it sales tax? I'm looking at,
Sales tax and property tax revenue.
well, we don't receive property tax, but yeah, okay.
Well,
So sales tax.
a small
Well,
piece,
a
yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
portion, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
What's the funding source again? We're with Cleveland County and the City of Moore.
DJ.
So also in a TIF for the tax increment financing district, we will receive those, the incremental revenues that come in for the property taxes to pay for this project. So while in a normal property, the property taxes go to the county and then they're dispersed to the taxing entities, every taxing entity serves on the TIF committee, and then they agree that the TIF is needed and necessary, and therefore any of those property taxes are then captured from where it currently is, and it currently is at zero because there's nothing on there. So every layer of value that gets added onto that property gets captured, and then that's the dollars that we're allowed to use for the project. So in essence, we do receive the property taxes until a certain amount of time, and that's basically when everything gets paid for. So we figure to create the TIF, how many years will it take to recoup those dollars? And let's just say 11 years. If it's 11 years, then that's how long the TIF runs. And at the end of the 11th year, we would assume that everyone has been paid back. So, Councilmember Porter, to your question, who are the funding sources? Originally, the city, these will be budgeted items for most of these infrastructure projects. So again, it would be improvement of Pole Road, widening of Pole Road, signalization of Pole Road, a new road that's connecting Pole Road to the access road. Those are projects, also utilities, putting sewer and water where we've greatly needed utilities in that area. So we are able to elevate and add new facilities and pay for it through these TIF dollars. The funding sources, again, the county has agreed to loan the city $3.5 million, and then they will then get paid back with interest from those TIF proceeds. And then the rest would be city funded. And then we would get reimbursed from those TIF proceeds.
In theory, at the end of whenever this TIF expires, it's net zero at that point. So everybody gets paid back. So the amount of tax that we would have gained during that 11-year period we won't get that.
Right,
We'll
it goes
pay
to
that
pay
back.
for this,
But
right,
at the point that the TIF expires, we're at net zero right there, so.
And we think that's going to happen in 11 years? Is that what you, or you don't know?
Actually, I think it will happen a lot sooner than that. This is a significant generator of tax. And then on the sales tax side, we will receive 100% of the sales tax that's generated from the construction of the project. And we are estimating that to be a little over $4 million. And that will go directly to the city. And then that happens before the project even opens for business because it's during the building of the project, which is the first 2 years.
How long will the TIF go, and will it be 100% of all that money that'll go to this?
We haven't decided that yet because the TIF is just being created, and so we haven't yet had that very first TIF meeting. The entities, some here are in the audience, it would be the county assessor, the school district. It depends. At times, the school district does ask for a portion to come back to them, but again, we haven't been asked for that, nor have we offered that. So let's just say it's 100% at this point, unless they would ask for a portion of theirs to come back to them, like a small percentage to come back to them rather than contributing that to the TIF. The length of the TIF is only as long as what it takes to pay back what is spent. So again, we've run projections that really get us in about the 9 to 10 year range, but just to be safe, we might do an 11-year and then get out early. Very easy to do that. Once it's paid off, then your TIF is completed.
The loan from Cleveland County that we have to take and pay back to them with interest, is that correct?
Well, we pay it through the TIF, so the city doesn't pay it. We pay from the money that's been accrued from the property taxes, but yes,
So kind of like using them as a bank with
That's correct.
interest.
That's exactly
They're
right.
gonna make the more money on that.
that is correct. That's right.
And an advantage of this TIF is the fact that, with the exception of the sales tax that was mentioned on the equipment, this is a straightforward TIF in the fact that the repayment source will be the added incremental value in the property value. So that's the source of the overwhelming majority of the revenue that over, as Deidre said, roughly 9 to 10 years will repay everything that's been spent. So we're not counting on other businesses to come in and generate revenue through retail or anything like that. Just the incremental increase in the value of the land and the property will take care of the money spent.
Will the loan not happen until we're ready, till something starts on the site?
Yes, the loan from the county?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. We're still negotiating that, and we will work with the county at their pace for what's needed. But yes, as soon as that, again, we don't need that money right now, but the sooner the better. So we'll get it when, again, we've developed an agreement. And again, all interest can also be recouped. So interest that would be paid on that, which we assume will be favorable, but still would be recouped. Administrative fees are also recouped from that. So any of our time working on this project, any of our staff's time with the finance department, all of that is recouped through the tax increment.
And the road's will be built by them, and then
There's-
we will pay for it as it
That's
goes
correct.
by?
There's two pieces. The developer will build one of the roads, and that's the road that's connecting the access road to Pole Road, and then the city will do the Pole Road improvements based on, again, what we have discussed over time of just needing to improve Pole Road and the intersection of 27th Street and Pole Road.
The, how many, so in tax dollars, when it's all said and done, is there going to be a certain amount that they receive from us for building over in this area? Is that kind of how that'll end up?
Yes, there would be. And also the Department of Commerce. They were vetted and came through the Department of Commerce like lots of large projects do. And so the Department of Commerce is also allowing them to do a 5-year tax exemption. So they are free from taxes for the first 5 years of the project. But we still get those taxes. The state doesn't leave the communities lagging behind, so the state will make us whole on those taxes in lieu of the company paying those taxes.
So tonight, once we get this approved, are we going to be finding out who the company is? How is that going to be? I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be tomorrow morning, but, because it's a lot of money and stuff, and, people go, well, who is it and everybody's excited, and I understand. I just don't know what part. I mean, we're not talking about, 2 years or whatever, are we?
No, before the end of March. That's when they
End of this
plan to
month?
close on the sale of the property.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Deidre, what would be the next step for the developer if this is approved this evening? What would
The
be next
developer
step?
just goes through as they would a normal development. They've already worked with our planning department. They have plans in with the planning department. So they are, they've gone through the planning commission and have had plans approved. So they are ready to start.
Okay. Do you have a motion? Any questions?
I make a motion, we approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Will you call for the vote?
Sid Porter,
Abstain.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene City Council meeting. Number 12 is new business. We do have some citizens that have signed up and come to the podium. Destiny, state your address, your name, and you've got 5 minutes.
Were you hoping you weren't the first one? I said, were you hoping you weren't the first one?
Not me first, but that's okay. I can do this. Okay, my name is Destiny Bivens. My address is 1109 South Howard Avenue here in Moore. I've been here for 6 years. I opened up technically a business in '24. A friend opened Thrive Early Learning Center over the railroad tracks. The intention was for me to run it as the director and buy it off from her in a couple of years when it got up. DHS came, made some new rules. She's like, you gotta buy it now. So she made it work where I bought it myself. So I've owned it for a little over a year. Just so y'all know, childcare in this state is in a crisis. Here's what I'm not, I know of 2 locally that closed down in December, because kids came to me. 1 in August, a kid came to me. And just for functionality of children having to bounce from center to center because they're closing because of whatever reason, the government has, and DHS have come through with different things that have affected us to close. Here's the problem. We are putting out, LCA has made a couple of different legislative things to go to the legislators, to their floors, that would help some of us keep our doors open if it could just be heard. It's not gonna cost the state a thing. It's stuff that we've created that will help us make ends meet on our end until DHS can figure out their budgeting in, but it's falling on deaf ears that they're not even making it past committee, or if they are, they're not getting heard. So if you know anybody in the legislative committee that you can be like, hey, put the childcare stuff out there. It doesn't cost the state a thing. They've created stuff that can help us keep our doors open. Because if the majority of us get hit in April with a $5 a day cut per child, so we're $4,000 a month in my facility. Turn around in July, and they are cutting the number of families that will be able to get DHS. I can guarantee you that a lot of my families won't be able to afford it, and they will walk, which they're gonna have to figure out something at that point. So what is our problem today will be everybody's problem tomorrow. So if you have a voice, please use it to somebody that can actually help us. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of child care centers closing, and you're gonna have parents looking at what they can do then.
Can you send us the information that you have on the bills and that you
I
have?
absolutely can.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all of our email addresses are on the website, so please send it to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. At this time, Jason, would you please come to the podium, state your name, your address? You've got,
Our business address is 1940 North Broadway.
thank you.
My wife and I own 2 child care centers. That's my wife, Angie. Basically, we're going through the same thing that the previous person spoke about. We're have 120 children enrolled and more. We have another center in Tecumseh with 116 license capacity. In November, the DHS cut our funding by $5 a day on school-age children, then also cut the ages from 9 to 12 that are no longer able to be cared for us. So no telling where they're at now. But the first cuts in November cost each one of our centers about $6,000 per month. The next cuts in April are going to be $5 a day per child, straight across the board from infant to 8-year-old is what we can go up to now. And that's going to cost us another $6,000 to $7,000 per center. So within 6 months of a span, we're losing around $10,000 or more per center. We are not able to cut employees.
Right.
We have a ratio we have to meet. So that is not a thing that we can do. So
Is that a DHS established
DHS,
ratio?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. But we're asking, there are 56 daycare centers here in Moore, Oklahoma, 3,000 kids, approximately 3,000 kids being taken care of, that when these cuts happen in April, you're going to see a lot of daycare shutting down. because they cannot make it financially. They don't have their personal pockets to go into to fund the daycares. My wife's family, she grew up in the child care industry. They had 6 centers. They have now closed their last center this past month because they were not able to make it. So we're just asking if you know anybody at the legislature office to let your voices be heard, because, you know, it's not, we go to the legislature. We've been to the legislature last week. We were there today again, speaking. We get a lot of doors closed in our face because all they think about is the money that DHS wants to spend, or DHS has to spend on the child care. We're not a babysitting. We're early childhood development. These kids learn to read, write, socialize, interact with each other. And so by the time they get to school age, they're already up to speed with what's going to happen, what's going on. And so yes, we asked for $57 million. They came back and said, we're only going to give you 7. And so it's going to be very devastating to our industry. We are the workforce. We help the workforce grow. And if without daycares or child cares, parents can't go to work. Parents are going to have to quit their job, or they're going to be sending their kids to some home that's not licensed, it's not overseen by anybody. And so, you know, when COVID happened, childcare was an essential business, and we had to stay open. When the teachers' walkout happened, childcares were there to watch the teachers' kids. I mean, we are there for the workforce, and we are helping grow not only the state of Oklahoma, but also the city of Moore, with all the economic impact that this will have on the city and the state. She just handed you out, I won't read it, but there's 20,000 child care jobs statewide. It's $450 to $475 million in direct revenue to the state. And so it's not just costing the state money to keep us open, but it's going to cost the state and the cities around, you know, quite a bit of money and quite a bit of workforce and unemployment, not counting foster care. That's going to affect when
30
daycares
seconds,
shut down.
please.
Huh?
30 seconds,
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry, okay. But we have some people here. I'll just have anyone in the daycare industry, please stand up. The parents, everybody. So these are people that came to represent. We have owner of Beyond Learning, which is right by us. And so, anyway, we just need your voices to be heard. We've talked, and we're not getting anywhere. So please help. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the information. Anyone else that's not signed up? Thank you. Item B, items from the City Council, trustees. Item C is items from the City Trust Manager.
Budget meetings start tomorrow.
Yeehaw.
Anything else? Item 13 is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call for the vote?
Sid Porter?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt?
Yes.
Louis Williams?
Yes.
Adam Webb?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith?
Yes, meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming this evening.